Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special interview actually today. So I'm here with Jamie Murphy from Board of Cyber. Hi, Jamie. How are you doing?
Hey, very well, thanks, Paul. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. So, Jamie, you and I have been talking for a little while, and you work in a fascinating space, well, cybersecurity, which of course is on the front of many people's minds, especially business owners at the moment, with everything that's going on. Jamie, maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you got into this field, because it's quite specialist.
Well, I would say the cyber security market itself is an interesting one because one of the things I often say is that I've been in it so long it's been called many different things. So I've actually been, I would say, in this marketplace for nearly 30 years, which
Wow.
is really through, I would say, the evolution of the internet and the journey of the internet and what that has become and what that means today to everybody. So yeah, I guess coming through the that evolution, going through e-commerce.com, and as business did more through the internet, information security, network security became cyber security because it just became at the core of everyone's. It's at the core of everyone's business.
Yeah, and I guess I mean I probably somewhat naively you think about sort of cybersecurity and you think sort of enterprise level solutions, etc. But of course, it's everybody's responsibility, isn't it? I mean, from SME, if you, it's not just about you; it's about your customers, how you protect their data.
It's a smashing question, Paul, because it really is where the market has evolved. I think SMEs have become increasingly more aware, concerned. I would say one of the big game changers is when I get invited to house parties and someone says, "What do you do?" They actually know what cyber security is. So I will always see that as a good barometer because you're right. Enterprise often is and government the first to adopt because ultimately they are the most targeted types of organizations initially when things evolve. So big organizations go to the cloud, they go to the apps, so naturally they sway in that direction. But I think um, as cyber crime, as regulation has become much more prevalent, the enterprise is eking into the outside world, so everyone becomes affected. So actually you could argue that um, the best bang for your buck in terms of getting into a larger organization could actually be through an SMB or a smaller organization. So I think it affects us all on a personal level and on a business level.
The Board of Cyber, tell us a little bit about your business and the services that you're providing, please.
Yeah, so I've been working with Border Cyber for a number of years. I've been working with them specifically around what I would say they're tackling a really interesting part of the marketplace, which is third-party risk management. I would say, how can you look at from the outside in? What does it look like from the attacker's viewpoint? Um, and and I think organisations from in different shapes and sizes are looking at that as a really, it's a great starting point. So one of the things that I've definitely found over the years with enterprise security, it can be daunting, can be difficult to consume. I'm, really excited working, with Border Cyber because what we're able to do is actually take a far more pragmatic view and make cybersecurity consumable for the for different size organizations. It's still important for big companies to look at external threat, what's going on with the third parties, what's going on in their ecosystem. But I think what I love about what Border Cyber do is that we can, I think, yeah, deliver it in a meaningful, consumable way, easy reporting, and I would say good language.
Mm, yeah. And actually, speaking about the sort of language issue, and of course, cyber security by its very nature knows no borders, and cyber crime by its very nature knows no borders. And of course, your solution is the same, isn't it? I mean, you offer it in multiple languages, and it rolls irrespective of geography.
Absolutely right. It's a platform that is multilingual, in the reporting form, in the platform and the portal access in terms of what it can deliver. So all of the AI and all of the special sauce in the technology and the intelligence built in is multilingual, as I say, really easy to use.
Cool. And I mean, from the creative industry standpoint, I know, you know, some people are better at this sort of thing from others, but certainly in my experience, it's perhaps one of those things that we don't take as seriously as perhaps we should, and especially given the types of clients that some of us are working with. But you've got an offer for our mission partners and affiliates, I believe.
I have, and I'm delighted to offer it. I mean, from my perspective, the creative sector is one that I think is as affected as any other. You know, I think a lot of the time I think that sector's being looked at in terms of the ecosystem it's working around, and frequently, you know, I think it's very important when you're working with different kinds of businesses, whether that's government, maybe larger businesses, that you can show that you've got due diligence and that you're putting the right measures in place. But I would say that the other side of it is also one to look at their own security and taking a proactive stance, get a rating on where they are, where they fit in with other people within their sector, so they get a feel for, you know, for where they are, and equally from a cyber insurance perspective and a corporate banking perspective, these are just the rating and the continuous monitoring in terms of managing their cyber risk from an external perspective is becoming more and more important.
And actually, that's a really important point you raised there, of course, because like many things which are now becoming sort of, I guess, part of an RFP, part of an RFI request from a client, it's can you state your sort of levels of cybersecurity, what you have in place to mitigate any form of corruption damage that might occur through lack of having this type of stuff. So you're providing almost, well, a certification in many ways, because you've got that on the report, haven't you?
Well, I think it makes it shows that you, through the reporting, through the rating itself, that you're demonstrating that you've got some control over your risk. And I mean that is, I would say, the overriding message here is that it's perhaps perceived previously as technical risk, but this is now business risk, and therefore that's why it becomes important to do business.
And that's kind of, I guess, where we started the conversation, and why this offer, I think, is very prevalent and important to a lot of our partners out there. If they don't maybe have the security in place that perhaps, you know, would be good for them, they can reach out to you directly, I guess.
Absolutely, I'll be delighted to receive any communication for anybody that's got any questions around it. Perhaps you know, I can also talk about the, you know, I'll let them know around the offer that we've got, which is actually a 20% reduction of the normal annual fee, and another benefit, I think, of what we're trying to do is also make this really cost effective. So you know, for around the sort of cost of a monthly satellite fee these days, you're actually getting cybersecurity for your business,
Which is very good value. So I would encourage anyone watching to reach out to you, have a chat about cybersecurity, take a look at the offer. We'll connect that up with the video. But Jamie, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and really appreciate the offer for our mission partners.
Pleasure. Lovely to talk to you, Paul.